safety. Typically this time of year, students would be making their way back to the Palouse. This morning, why Washington State University leaders are urging students not to come to Pullman.
And a pretty mild day is ahead, but we are going to be seeing temperatures warm up significantly into the weekend. We'll lay out an excessive heat watch that takes effect coming up.
Positive trends, low levels. This morning, how COVID-19 numbers in Spokane County show a slowdown in community spread.
Farmer struggles. Sunflowers are blooming in Deer Park, and they're sure pretty to look at, but we'll explain why farmers are adamant people stay away.
Up with KREM starts right now with Jen York, Joshua Robinson, Evan Narani, and Dana Marie McNichol.
Thank you for joining us this morning. Well, from disinfectants to toilet paper and Dr. Pepper, the pandemic has run stores out of a lot of products. We want to ask you this morning, which products have you had a hard time finding lately? Text us at 509-448-2000. Let us know what you're struggling to find. Jen, I have to admit, one of the things I really struggled with over the last few weeks was I needed to get a bunch of new cleaning supplies since I was bringing in a new dog into the house. And yeah, I still haven't found any Scotch Guard, I'll admit. So I'm still looking for cleaning stuff. What about you?
Yeah, I think that obviously in high demand right now, right? Mm-hmm. I'm trying to rack my brain what I'm having a hard time finding these days. As Evan mentioned earlier, I mean, I had a hard time finding a kiddie pool. We looked at every big box store here in Spokane. When I say we, I mean my roommate did. But we looked everywhere for a kiddie pool, and they're sold out everywhere. We resorted to getting a $10 dog pool off Facebook Marketplace.
Okay. I kind of don't know how to respond to that, Jen. I love the idea of just hanging out in a dog pool with temperatures obviously creeping up towards the, maybe get to the triple digits coming up, right, Jen?
Yeah, certainly might be necessary to at least put your feet in it, cool off whatever way you can, because boy, we have some real hot weather on the way. Let's take a live look outside today. We're going to get back to some typical August weather that we're all used to, minus the smoke at least as of right now. But let's bring in Evan Narani for what we can expect to get our Friday started. Hi, Evan.
Hey, good morning. Yes, this is going to be the weekend to bring the doggy pool back out for everyone at home who's got one too. The weekend to do so is upon us. Today, though, pretty mild for the most part. We're talking 80s as your afternoon high temperatures. 83 is about what we'll get to by 4 p.m. We are going to be seeing the slow and steady warm up, though, continue into the weekend, and you can see how that plays out for your Saturday and your Sunday. For Saturday, 91 degrees is that forecast high, warming up just a bit compared to today, and then your Sunday, 99 degrees. Some forecast models put Spokane in the triple digits downtown, which will be our second day of the year that we've done so. And because of that, and because of how that heat is expected to then linger into the beginning of next week, we've got an excessive heat watch that will take effect. This could be upgraded. There are different versions. Heat advisory, for example, could be the case by Sunday itself, but in anticipation for the possibility of excessive heat, we have a watch. So this takes effect on your Sunday, continues through your Tuesday, because those are 3 consecutive days of high heat that we're expecting. Coming up in just a bit, we'll talk about how a cool down does come after that, but will it really cool us down by all that much is the big question. We'll have answers coming up in just a bit. Back over to you.
All right, Evan, thank you. And I have to say, shout out to everyone who's texting us right now. I've seen a number of texts come in saying what you're looking for and what you're searching for when it comes to sanitizing here in the pandemic. So we see those. We're going to get back to that here shortly, but definitely keep those comments coming. Let us know what you're having a hard time finding when you're out and about. In the meantime, here it is 6:03, and we are committed to bringing you the latest information in our back-to-school coverage. And new overnight, the Moscow School District is canceling fall sports. Now, it is the first of the local districts in the league to do so. Now, instead, students will play intramural sports against each other. They will not travel to other schools. Now, this applies to both middle school and high school sports. District leaders say it's just too risky for their students to travel, not only for their kids, but for other communities as well. And of course, we're here to help you navigate the upcoming school year changes. There certainly are several to keep track of. But here are a few important dates to keep in mind for Spokane Public Schools. Now, this Sunday, August 16th, is the deadline to enroll students in a full year of online learning. Childcare registration is due on Monday, the 17th. And the district will also host parent-teacher conferences from September 8th through the 14th to answer any remaining questions about the upcoming school year. Of course, you can always find more information on the Spokane Public Schools website, or we've made it very easy for you. For the latest back-to-school information, you can text DISTRICT to our text line that is 509-448-2000. Well, this weekend, students will be typically making their way back to Washington State University in Pullman. But now university leaders are urging students to stay away, not just for their health, but for the entire community.
We don't want students to, think that they're going to get something by living here in Pullman rather than staying at home for this semester.
Now, according to the Whitman County public health leaders, the current risk of coronavirus spread is high in Whitman County. WSU leaders fear if students return, it might make matters worse. Now, the university has moved to an all-online learning model for the fall semester. However, some classes like labs will be in person. Basically, what they're discouraging here is students living there just to live there but continuing their online school. Well, the West Coast Conference is delaying all fall sports. Right now, conference leaders say all sports will be postponed to spring 2021. However, the conference is allowing schools to schedule non-conference competitions in low-risk sports for the fall. However, there's no really clarification on what constitutes as a low-risk sport. Gonzaga playing, though, seems pretty unlikely. All of the schools closest to them have shut down fall sports entirely.
6:06 on the dot now. Time for your morning rush. More news in less time. The Bonners Ferry police chief shot and killed a 73-year-old man during an argument earlier this month. It happened August 1st at a southern Idaho campground, and according to the Custer County Sheriff's Office, Chief Brian Zimmerman was off duty and camping with a group when he shot the Boise man. The Bonners Ferry Police Department released a statement this week saying they knew about the incident shortly after it happened, and they say city leaders were also aware and did not feel that administrative leave or other disciplinary action was necessary. According to Zimmerman, he, quote, returned fire after being fired upon by an armed individual who confronted his group. We're learning new details this morning about a fatal stabbing in North Spokane. Spokane police say a 19-year-old man is facing a murder charge after stabbing his girlfriend's ex-husband yesterday morning. The incident happened in the 900 block of Princeton Avenue, and police say a woman told them that Edward Martinez stabbed the 25-year-old victim numerous times. Officers arrested Martinez in the area of Broad Avenue and Helena Street. Detectives from the Major Crimes Unit are investigating. On the west side now, 3 Washington families of students with disabilities are suing the state. They say the emergency rules adopted by the state during the pandemic violate the right to basic education. The families in Thurston, Pierce, and King counties are now petitioning the Thurston County Superior Court to intervene. State officials say they have received the lawsuit and are reviewing it, but have not yet made any comment. California is the latest state to rule Amazon is liable for injuries caused by products sold on its site. Now, in several other states, however, including Washington, Amazon is considered exempt from liability because the company is considered a service provider. That's your Morning Rush. More news in less time. Let us know what's happening in your neighborhood by using the hashtag #UpWithKREM on social media. The debate this morning over mail-in voting takes a bit of a turn this week after President Trump has stated that he plans to block funding for the U.S. Postal Service to prevent it. His interview with Fox Business is gaining a lot of attention this week after the president said he is intentionally withholding money from the post office to make it harder to process mail-in ballots this November. The president said, quote, "They need that money in order to make the post office work so it can take all of these millions and millions of ballots." Now, when asked about this statement later, Trump told reporters it's on Democrats.
If they make a deal, the Postal Service is taken care of. The money they need for the mail-in ballots would be taken care of if we agree to it. That doesn't mean we're going to agree to it, but all they have to do is make a deal. But again, more important to them.
Now, Mark Dimenstein, the president of the American Postal Workers Union, also weighed in this week, saying postal workers are proud to make sure people have the right to vote and vote safely. He says voting by mail isn't new, that it's something the post office has handled for generations, and he says the post office can handle that workload. Jen?
All right, Joshua, thank you so much. It is 6:08 now. Well, China is stepping up screenings of imported meat and seafood containers after chicken wings tested positive for COVID-19. But let's connect the dots on why this is not a concern.
It's a shocking headline. China reporting they found coronavirus on chicken imported from Brazil, but experts say we shouldn't panic over contracting COVID-19 from food. Let's connect the dots. China says the virus was detected on a surface sample from a batch of chicken wings. So far, no one who came in contact with the package has tested positive for coronavirus, and authorities say they are tracing products from the same shipment back to the buyers. But right now, infectious disease experts are not too concerned about our food supply. One of the big reasons we've learned as this pandemic has progressed, this virus is much more likely to be airborne than foodborne. Coronavirus is largely spreading through respiratory droplets, and while it is possible to catch it from a contaminated surface, regular hand washing has severely limited that spread. The World Health Organization also says it is highly unlikely coronavirus could survive the shipping process. Although it can survive for a few hours or even days on certain surfaces, it would most likely be destroyed once it is exposed to different conditions and temperatures. And if you're still concerned, a virologist at Columbia University also told CNN that our stomach acids will kill any coronavirus that lingered on food.
Right, so the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention leaders say there is no evidence to suggest food can spread COVID-19, but they do continue to recommend always washing your hands after handling food or before cooking and eating. Well, still to come here on Up with KREM, you pick sunflowers are a summer tradition in Deer Park. Coming up, why farmers say it's bringing a new problem.
And it is a dry start to the day. We'll be talking about excessive heat on the way. Coming up on Up with KREM.
And this week, our own Whitney Ward interviewed Health Officer Dr. Bob Lutz, who says we need to listen to the numbers and follow trends. We'll be doing just that coming up in our next half hour of Up with KREM.